All right, what's going on, guys? Noah Pioneer Sport Cards. Wanted to take a moment just to kind of reflect on the 2020 overall set from Topps and just take a look at what has been and what hasn't been pulled yet and what we can maybe look forward to in the near future for upcoming pulls. Quick shout out to my guy Varus for putting together this awesome spreadsheet. What you are looking at is every single driver 1 through 20, and you're going to have their super, their auto, their super 70th, their Paparasha, and their IV 1 of 1. And I really like this because it gives a great scope on all of the cards that have been pulled that we have photos of and what has not been pulled. So I wanted to kind of just go over a few cards that haven't been pulled yet, just because I think they're very big that they haven't been pulled yet. The first driver that we have to talk about is Lewis. So Lewis has had 4 of his 5 1 of 1s, if you will, including the Super 70th, because most of them are going to be 1 of 1s. He's had 4 of the 5 pulled, with the Superfractor 70th not being seen yet. This, I don't have to tell you guys, is an extremely large pull that's still out there. You never know. This could never be pulled. This could be pulled in 10 years. That's the case with all of these. We never know when these are going to be pulled, because while maybe 1 or 2 of them, and maybe in some kids, binder that haven't been had photos taken of them, the majority of these have not been pulled yet, which is really exciting. Jumping on down to Max, we see he has a Superfractor 1 of 1 that hasn't been pulled, his Superfractor 70th, and his Sapphire IV 1 of 1, which has not been pulled. So Max still has a ton, and by a ton I mean a lot of 1 of 1s out there that have not been pulled of him. So it could be very exciting in this upcoming year. We could see 3 1 of 1 Maxes pulled, which would be ridiculous. Going on down to Lando. Lando still has a Superfractor 1 of 1 out there, his Sapphire 1 of 1 out there, and his Sapphire IV 1 of 1 out there. George Russell has only 2 cards that haven't been pulled for him and Charles, which is the next on my list, so I'll combine those 2 together. George has not had any of his Sapphires pulled, the 1 of 1 and the IV. And similar to him, Charles has not had his Sapphire 1 of 1 or his Sapphire IV pulled. Going on to the next page, we got Seb, which has not had a Superfractor 1 of 1 pulled or a Superfractor 70th pulled. Some big-time Seb cards could be coming in the future. Going on over to Sergio Perez, his Superfractor auto has not been pulled, and his Sapphire 1 of 1 has not been pulled. The fun one, the only driver who has had all 4 of his Superfractors and Sapphire 1 of 1s pulled is Danny Rick. He does not have the IV, but every single other one has been pulled. So if you're looking to pull a Danny Rick 1 of 1, unfortunately for you, it will not be in the 2020 product. Going down to Kimmy, he still has only 1 left, which is going to be the Sapphire 1 of 1. I don't know how long that's going to take to find, but going to be exciting. Now, jumping to a popular driver who has not had a lot of his 1 of 1s pulled at all is Valtteri Bottas. He has had only 1 of his 5 1 of 1s pulled, and it's not even a true 1 of 1. It's a Superfractor 70th. There are 4 true Valtteri Bottas 1 of 1s floating out there somewhere in boxes waiting to be pulled, which is very exciting. Going over to some of the smaller drivers, none of these guys are going to have really IVs except 1 of them way at the end. So Stroll has his Superfractor 1 of 1 left and his Sapphire 1 of 1 left. Latifi only has his Superfractor 1 of 1 left. Giovinazzi has only had his Superfractor 70th pulled. There are still 3 1 of 1 trues out there for Giovinazzi. Kevin Magnussen has his Superfractor 70th out there and his auto floating out there. Kvyat has only 1 left. He has his true Superfractor 1 of 1. Following, we got Carlos Sainz, which only has his Super Auto 1 of 1 pulled. Lots of potential here to get some good cards. Same with Esteban, who's only had his Superfractor auto pulled. Still has his 1/1 70th Sapphire, both of his Sapphire 1/1s. Same kind of deal with Albon. He's only had his Superfractor 1/1 pulled with the rest yet to be pulled. Grosjean, same thing, but he doesn't have the IV. Going to Pierre Gasly, for him, he has his Superfractor auto 1/1 and his normal Superfractor. And then, yeah, that's your 20 right there. Went very fast for me explaining it. But yeah, out of all of these, if I had to say what the 3 biggest cards were that have yet to been pulled, I'm going to go ahead and say, not repeating driver, because I think that's not fun. The Lewis Superfractor 70th. The Max Superfractor 1/1. The George Russell Sapphire 1/1. The Charles 1/1 Sapphire. And then this is when it's going to get tough. I'm going to say the Pierre Gasly Superfractor Auto 1/1. So that'll do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Wanted to just kind of showcase this because it's great visual for everybody to see how much is still really out there considering how much product has been ripped. All right, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care. Have a good one. I'll see you soon. Bye.